So I'm very glad to present you today that catalyst, the smart city topic, about how we can really help cities to develop their digital journey and really to be successful in their transformations, to be able to do a lot of things with the citizens and all the ecosystem. So I will present with Peter from Globitum. I'm Christian Met from Orange. I'm managing lots of transformation process in operations in all the group of Orange. Do you have any clicker? Oh, is it here? Okay, yeah, good. Okay. So first, I would like to thank all these companies that are working with us since a couple of years. For some, I would like to thank first the partners who are really designing, building all the technical components like Bearing Point, Globitum, and Cognizant, and also a long list of champions which are really today very helpful in this catalyst session, because in fact we are working a lot on how we can help these champions to build a business with the help of the platforms and the ecosystem. So thanks to the Métropole Nice-Côte d'Azur, thanks to la Ville de Saint-Quentin, thanks to CABA, Entity, of course, lots of people from entities, thanks Taka, for instance. Well, congratulations for your award. And of course Orange, I'm one of the representatives of Orange for that catalyst. So what is Connected Citizens? Connected Citizens is not only a platform. We used to do a lot of things in terms of use case and so on, but today this catalyst is really oriented to business, to make business in the next time after this catalyst, to really focus on how we can make money all together. I mean, not only me as Orange or Entity, but also all the partners, all the cities and citizens, how they can value these demonstrations of that. So it's not only a platform, it's an ecosystem, and I will pass the floor first to Peter that will explain a little more about that.
Yes, thank you, Christian. Thank you. So really, as Christian said, we really focus on building a platform enabler for the cities that provides all the main building blocks, the main components that will empower them and enable them to live out their business case and business models that they want to build. Previously we focused on singular use cases. This time we really wanted to empower and enable the cities to deliver their business cases, their business models that they've been thinking about, and deliver that through open APIs. So as you can see on the left-hand side, I mean, this is our platform, and there's a lot of components, and I'll explain briefly what they are. But if you think of the cities already have their IoT data clouds. That's in place. They're already capturing a lot of information with their sensors in the IoT space. But they've got a lot of systems that's focused on just providing that single functionality for the IoT. And then you've got your citizens, your application developers, your cities that really what they want to achieve is to bring everyone together, and that's what our platform aims to do. So in our platform, I mean, we've got artificial intelligence and distributed ledger, we've got our integration components, we've got OSS and BSS, but really it's the smart city that plays the biggest role on our platform, and we want to bring all of that together so that in the end we can empower the smart cities through open APIs, leveraging the TM Forum assets, building an ecosystem, and what that drives is really a better community, increasing the efficiency of public services because people can have access to information. The city can't provide all the services, but you've got service providers in the city that can be the extension arm of a city, reach out to a different community, a different group in that city, and provide additional services or empower them to leverage what they've got in that community. And in the end, the city improves their attractiveness. I mean, people would want to live there. They would want to use more of the city services. They would want to share more of that information. So it's opening up everything so that people can start collaborating with service providers, cities, and then the citizens being the biggest benefactor in that city.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah, it's really more than just a catalyst that talks about techniques. Of course, we have a fundamental vision of techniques because it has to be enabling all the different dimensions, as you mentioned. And we also spend a lot of time understanding the business vision for the smart city. So it's a lot of good questions we went through, like who will pay for that? Is it cities? Is it the EU? Is it whoever? And really, what kind of value we can create? Is it only savings we can do with smart city subject, or can we also create value? And where is the value? So we just try to draft our business canvas, so it's really applied to the Catalyst vision. And what we also try to understand is really some figures. So let's say we always think about smart city projects are not having a good margin, but when we think about a value which is not the net financial commercial value, but more the social value, 80% of the projects that today are created for smart city are quite valuable. They are proving €1 to €6 per €1 invested. So it's quite nice in comparison of infrastructure things. When you do a road, it's €1 per €1. So not that bad. So it's a long story. We started a long time ago about just talking about energy, about more my planet, very sustainable things, and now we are on the last one, vision, which is really this platform, this ecosystem before maybe going to a business vision really on the market. So just now, more in detail, after that quick introduction of what we do is our goals. So what is the context today? The context is really quite, let's say, fragile, fragmented. Lots of cities have made lots of projects, and today, in fact, nothing is really converging. So it's lots of problems in terms of after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years of tests, of POCs, of pilots. Nothing really is going like a good trend, a good journey to a global smart city vision. So that's one of the big problems. Why? Lots of different things. Technology, not converging between now, before now. Politics, sometimes. Finance, always, or almost always, okay? So lots of things. But today, really, it's a good time. Why is it a good time, that context? Is because today, technology is more converging. So 5G is coming, IoT and all the technology around LoRa and all these different networks, and also big data, analytics, everything is really converging. It's a good time to start and to think for a city as a global vision for smart city. So it's really the nice time to do that. So the solution, one solution we try to build is really about a mutualized vision for smart cities. So it's one city will not achieve to have a big one solution for itself. So our really fundamental trust is really that we need to propose to cities, lots of cities, the same mutualized cloud with lots of mutualized components, so that they are able to decrease the cost, in the same time having an easy scaling up platform to enable everything, in fact. So really, the main driver is, of course, a platform. So it's why we are here, an open platform. APIs are really the power of the platform, open API. So we are able to connect all these components very quickly. Just one example, when Cognizant was coming in the group to connect to us, it was like a couple of seconds, maybe more, but a couple of hours just to connect their piece of the platform to the global platform. So thanks to the APIs, and that's very interesting. The other part is, well, when we have this platform, we need to develop global ecosystem. Ecosystem doesn't mean techniques. It means a connection between city, citizens, government, institutions, universities, private companies, and all of these big things that we are able to manage with the platform. So it's really onboarding all these guys, onboarding developers, technical things, data. Data is a component like a citizen or anyone else. So it's a long list of things we'll see on the next slide, which is a large, complex ecosystem we need to build. And thanks to the platform, we are able to develop a better digital ecosystem. So that's also talking about the community connection. So community meaning people, and also people from the city, people from the universities. I will talk about that later. That is leading to improving the efficiency of public services and attractiveness of the city. And then it's looping. So it's a very virtual circle that we are starting to build in terms of when we start that journey, we achieve lots of good steps, and then the city is more positive and we can invest a lot more. What we want to do is not to develop everything. We want to develop the platform, and then there is a local ecosystem, which is the local developers, which are big groups of software companies that are able to use this open API to develop everything. But we are not expert in everything. We are expert in clouds, in these components, in APIs, and we do that, what Peter will describe a little later. So that's a vision of an ecosystem. It's a simple one. At least it is quite not simple to read. Its ecosystem of smart cities are very huge, very complex. And that's what we want to propose to really manage with the platform. To do the platform, we used to survey lots of use cases, lots of things we have seen everywhere on different sources. So we used to work with Métropole Nice Côte d'Azur, which is our host here for the last time, I understand. So we are talking about a story in the city of Nice about, let's say, natural risk and how we can mitigate risk in the natural things. In Saint-Quentin, Alexandre is in charge of the green spaces and sustainability in the city. So it's another story. How can we help him being better? Mike in New York City is talking about emergency case, so safety in the big city like New York City. And Taka is in charge of, let's say, a vision of how can we help tourists to manage their journey in a city like Sapporo. So that's the base of our thoughts to build a catalyst. From this, we worked on building some use case. As you can see, it's not talking about waste management, water management, or whatever. It's talking about how a platform can help developers, can help city managers to build this digital ecosystem. So that's the goal of the Catalyst, building this platform with the help of that use case. So how can we use blockchain to do UGC? How can we onboard different people like developers, data sources, and so on? How can we manage IoT? How can we manage APIs and so on? So that's the strength of the platform, is managing all these very central, very cloud use case that will enable everything after that, really everything. So we already talked about that, but we made a lot of surveys, we got lots of input coming from lots of sources like McKinsey, Deloitte, Bearing Point, Orange, and so on. So understanding the market of the smart cities. So cities are changing in the next decades. As you can see, we have now a few megalopolis in the world. In beginning of next century, it will be a large number of these kind of cities. Numbers of cities, smart cities in Europe, very few. 10, 20 per country, very few. So it means nothing is really done. Everything is to be done now, just a starting point. And also the topics we see in the different continents, which are quite different from America, Asia, and Europe. Not the same concerns in the different things. It means a very complex market when we want to address the business on that. Some figures also in terms of a big market, 34 billions of dollars annual revenue on this market, which is a huge amount of market. And some also figures in terms of the value created per €1 in some real project that some companies have made, like CGI, Orange, Microsoft, or Vinci, which is quite interesting. €1 invested, it's this kind of euro you have as a value, social value, at the end of the project. A lot of other things. So we are really working on that vision of the business part. Last one is about this canvas. I won't describe more. It's really the beginning of our vision to go to the market. And to go to the market, we need techniques. It's you.
Yeah, I've got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I get the... Thank you. Okay, so as you said previously, I mean, there's a lot of market research on this, and this is a Deloitte white paper that really talks about how things are converging. What we've got at the moment, I mean, this is like I mentioned earlier, there's so many IoT platforms that's tailor-made to solve one problem, like traffic management, waste management. What the white paper is really pointing at it is that you need to collaborate. You need a collaboration platform that brings everything together, really, that provides the functionality in a single platform that the city can leverage. It was mentioned earlier as well, but Christian mentioned it. For a city, it's a big expense to run all these different platforms, and they can't have a platform to solve each and every use case. There's just too many. And it will also be different for each city that you encounter. So what this white paper is really talking about is you've got all the sensors and the communication is sorted out with 5G and all the technologies that's coming. But you need to aggregate and analyze. You need a singular platform that really manages your IoT space, that does your event processing. You need APIs. Everything comes together with the TM Forum open APIs that just enables and empowers everyone to really bring on board. Like what Christian mentioned with UGC, it was a late entrant for our Catalyst, but it was so easy to get integrated because there's TM Forum open APIs to leverage. And you've got your external platforms, again, adding value that you can tap into to provide additional services within the city. And again, what this white paper is showing is just the collaboration that you need to bring this together. There's still tailor-made private platforms, but if you collaborate and consolidate, it makes an easier use case for using a single platform that empowers. So in our city, really, we decided on a couple of building blocks that we need, and we've got everything starting from the data hub. Again, like I said, the cities already have that. They've got all the data. They've got all the sensor information. But how do you empower that? So we need IoT management. We need platform security. We need web portals and onboarding. How do you bring people onto this platform now that you've got a platform to leverage? You need to manage your billing. You need to manage your subscriber loyalty. Again, it's all bringing people together, adding functionality to citizens and service providers. And this is the image that you've seen earlier. Really, everything plays around integration. Everything inbound, northbound, southbound is all through open APIs that we leverage. And so in terms of our architecture, we've got a digital business platform that really will, in the end, does your CRM, your billing management for this platform. API management is a big component. All access to inside and outside of this platform is through open APIs and the API management. What we wanted to provide that's really important for this round is a single city portal. So it's one portal where the city manages their data, their IoT devices. It's one portal where they track usage, one portal where they set up their monetization and business plans on how they expose and leverage, going outside and bringing citizens and service providers on board. So you've got your existing data hub. Again, that's an optional component. Most cities have that. They've got all the information. So how do we bring that on board? So from a city's portal, what we do is we provision tenants. This is a multi-tenant environment. Again, it reduces costs for cities to bring cities on board. We mainly focus on small to medium cities. So for them, putting all of this together in their own environment might be really too costly. So how do we provide a cloud-based platform that will empower cities? So with multi-tenancy, we can reduce costs, reduce the complexity of bringing them on board. So we bring the cities on board. They create their offers. They bring their customers, so their citizens on board. We've got the devices can be onboarded through APIs. Again, extending that reach and bringing service providers. So a city will have a catalog of IoT devices that service providers or citizens can order, smart meters, even eventually a smartphone will become a sensor in your city. So all of that feeds into and empowers the city to provide additional services. And then the IoT connectivity through your service providers, Orange, NTT. So how do you bring all of that together? In the end, we need to provide an experience for cities. We need to extend that reach so that the city can now offer that services with this platform. City service providers registers on the platform. They sign up and they pick the APIs that they want to leverage. So basically, what access to data do they want? They might request access to weather or event information. They provide an application that tourists will then use to navigate in the city. So again, we didn't focus on a singular use case. We provide the platform for all of these people to leverage. Through the API management and consumption, we have usage information. Citizens use the applications that the service providers provide via the App Store. So again, depending on the business model, the monetization model, the cities and service providers set up, there's leverage on each of these. And this is really where the commercials come into place. There's actual money flowing. It adds value. It builds a community where people can engage with each other. So this is the overall architecture for our platform. Most of these I've mentioned, but really it's the power of the open APIs and the API gateway. We've got API management and subscription billing. We've got data analytics that really feeds from the data hub in the city. We've got distributed ledger and blockchaining to provide all those services. Okay. We've got IoT management, and then on the left-hand side, we've got user-generated content. So really, it's building and extending that reach. Some of these you've seen. Really, again, to drive and help this, we've got OSS, BSS components. What I mentioned earlier is just your smartphones in UGC becomes an extension to what you have. A smartphone becomes a sensor, becomes a view into collaboration for your citizens. And again, there's components where you can start leveraging. There's the selling and buying of that. Most important for us is really, come to our booth. We've got demos for our platform. We can show you how we sign up, how a city manages their monetization and business plans. So again, we've got services registered, access to APIs, customer and billing management. So all of that are services and components that's already provided by this platform. And the selling of buying of content. So it's extending that reach. It's building a new digital community where the cities don't have to worry about the technical aspects of what this platform provides. Christian?
Yeah, thanks, Peter. So it's really a large catalyst in terms of techniques because we have implemented a lot of things, very innovative. So I think we need to insist on blockchain, on AI, on a lot of very new IoT things, and so it is very important to understand that it is enabling everything that a city can imagine, something like this. Yeah. So it's really about the beginning of a new Smart City Acceleration. So as you can see also, we have new designs, so new marketing stuff. So I would like to thank someone which is here. I think she will be ready in a few. Because you work hard to do something very aligned with a new chart of graphics. So it's really to be on the market. So now we maybe step into another step, which is maybe not a catalyst, but maybe something different, which is trying to do business with this.
Yeah.
Thank you.